Hello, everyone. Welcome to another lesson on Higher National Certificate HNC Level 4 on Unit 3 Human Resource Management. Today, we will be discussing the last learning outcome of Human Resource Management, which is learning outcome 4 on applying human resource management practices in a work-related context. My name is Isbana Naz, and I am a lecturer at Scholar School System, and I will walk you through to today's discussion. So, what we will discuss today is what we understand about job and person specifications, why it is important to include job and person specifications for human resource managers to include in a job advertisement. Preparing job specifications and person specification is applicable within the recruitment contents and the needs of the organization, taking into account the legislation and company policy. And also, we will discuss about the recruitment and selection process, the impact technology has on improving the recruitment and selection process, using right online medias, resources, digital platforms, and social networking mediums, designing and placing job advertisements, shortlisting and processing applications, interviewing preparation, and best practices for selection. So, what do we understand by job or person specification, and how can this be fit, uh, and how this can fit in a job advertisement? So, as a human resource manager, before you uh, before you launch a job advertisement, it is better to design a proper job description, job design, and person specification. What is expected from the job? What kind of candidates you're looking for? What will be the role that the candidates will be performing in that job? So before you place a vacancy with a recruitment consultancy or any other agency, it is a good idea to spend some time evaluating exactly what you require from candidates. While a job description and person specification may not be legal requirements, but they will definitely save you time in the long run. And it will definitely help you to explain the roles and responsibilities that are expected from the candidates and what kind of qualification you're looking for in a candidate that can be mentioned in the person specification. A job specification will be a detailed description of the role, including all the responsibilities, objectives, and requirements. A person specification is a profile of your ideal new employee. What are the desired criteria you're looking for in an employee? What are some of the essential criteria you're looking for? This could include skills, experiences, qualifications, or personality types. So why should you bother about writing a job advertisement? Why are you going to spend so much time, money, and energy to write down what kind of job design, what kind of job it is, and what are the roles and responsibilities, and what kind of individual or candidate you're looking for? So, writing this detailed specification forces you to think about exactly what skills and experiences you, as a human resource manager or an employer of an organization, require for the type of person you want for the team. So, given your recruitment consultant a comprehensive brief will allow them to work more effectively. So, if you want to launch an advertisement, for example, in recruitment agency websites like with Indeed or Read, then they will be able to identify what kind of people you're looking for. They will be able to categorize based on the specification that you have provided in their website or through their other channels. So, specification gives candidates a better idea as well of exactly what kind of work and opportunity they're looking for. This can help them to weed out inappropriate applications from people who might be suitable on paper. So, you can use this specification as a checklist for evaluating the CVs. Okay, so the job specification or the person specification you have, it'll be easier for you as a human resource manager to screen out the potential candidates that would be that would be uh, reliable for your organization. So, writing this job specification or person specification can make you think about how your department works, provide you, the human resource manager or the employer, an opportunity to shift responsibility, maximize efficiency, give you the understanding of what you require, what kind of candidate is required for your organization. So, specifications are also useful after the vacancy has been filled, as they can help to assess a new recruit's performance to determine the future training needs. So, the things to bear in mind before you start, you need to be as specific as possible when you're designing a job advertisement. The responsibilities, the role of the job, including any deadlines for delivery, how long the contract is going to be. Is it going to be full time, part time? Is it contractual, temporary? Every little detail needs to be in place when you are launching the job advertisement. You have to leave room for flexibility within the job specification. Make it obvious if the role is likely to change or grow in the near future. So just do not specify exactly what roles and responsibilities the candidate has to perform. You can say that additional roles and responsibilities may apply on top of the ones that which has been mentioned in the job design or in the job description. Be very careful with your wording. Example, a qualification really required or with someone who is qualified by experience will still be suitable. So sometimes if you look into Indeed or read job advertisement, you will see that there are some desired criteria that they're looking for in a candidate, and then there are essential criteria. So in this way, you will be able to kind of determine what kind of candidates you are looking for, and maybe categorize for your job description, for your job advertisement on the desired categories and the essential categories. It is very important, it is very vital not to discriminate on grounds of gender, age, ethnicity. So make sure that your job advertisement does not include that we're looking for female candidates only or male candidates only, or we're looking for some sort of health. We don't want candidates with any sort of health issues. So uh, if there are any such discrimination, then it will say a lot about the image of the brand of the company itself. So, by any cost, no such discriminatory words should be used within the job advertisement. If the role is involved with some sort of service delivery, you may want to ask a selection of your clients their opinions on the type of person they might look for. So this might help you to kind of determine what kind of criteria you're looking for in a candidate, and write them down, and then launch it in your in your website, in the job vacancy section, or through other recruitment agencies. So, what should you include in your job advertisement that you would like to send out? You need to hire new people. So, what will you include in the vacancy advertisement? So, it must include a job title, the position the company is looking for, manager, assistant manager, head of finance, head of HR department, um, or like a training and development specialist within the HR department. So you need to mention what kind of job it is. What is the title, the designation of the job, the location of the job? Where is it going to be? Is it going to be work from home? Is it going to be headquarter base? Is it going to be in some other parts of other parts of the country? A summary of the general nature, main purpose, and objectives of the job. So, what is expected from this candidate? What kind of job are they going to be involved with? So, if it's, for example, a training and development officer or manager, then what kind of work is expected from them? What is it that they exactly have to do? A list of the main duties and tasks of the employee that they have to carry out. What kind of skills or qualifications are essential or is desirable? Any equipment or software knowledge requirement that you are looking for. Could be QuickBooks, could be MS Word, MS other applications, Strata, quantitative analysis application. There could be so many. Okay, and what could be the potential salary and benefits that the employees can expect if they join, if they take upon the job. So you might also include a person specification, what kind of candidates you are looking for through the job advertisement. So you can talk about the technical, organizational, communicative, and creative skills that you're looking for. You could specify any qualifications or educational requirement, for example, a postgraduate master's level requirement or an undergrad level engineer, what kind of, or any other diploma or any other professional qualifications you are looking for from the candidate, the level of experience needed in either the organization, in similar organizations that they have worked for maybe before. It could be like, it could be a sales job, but maybe you are looking for someone from a marketing background or an advertising background. The kind of personality that you are looking for within the team, someone who has good collaborative nature, someone who works well under pressure, who works well in teams, character traits that are likely to help them to do the job effectively. So if it's a more customer based job, if it's a more customer facing job, then maybe you're looking for someone who's got good interpersonal, social skills, and any other preferred achievements, example, any kind of volunteering work they have done before, any kind of internship or apprenticeship placement that they have done in their previous jobs. So think about designing and placing job advertisements. Look into some of the job advertisements that you see when you, especially looking into Indeed or Read websites. Then you can see, or jobs.ac.uk. You'll be able to see, like, what kind of jobs are available. So what is included in those job advertisements? Have a look. You can imagine yourself as a human resource manager do this task if you are willing, and you are one of the HR manager of one of a renowned organization of your choice. So how would you prepare the job advertisement for a new internship opportunity for that organization for fresh university graduates? So here's a food for thought for everyone. If you would like to design something like this, just to give you a practice, or you can look into different Indeed or other websites who offers this kind of opportunities. What is the criteria they have used in their job advertisement? As learning outcome 4 is all about looking into the practical implications, how human resource management is actually implemented in organizational practices. So that's why we'll go through a case study today on human resource management at BMW. What is their selection criteria, recruitment criteria? What kind of training and development they go through? What are some of their effective human resource management practices? So we've all heard about the German-based motor vehicle named BMW. So this company spends more money on its human inputs to add value, and also its complex contributions of human resources creates a competitive advantage. So when we think about employers like BMW or Google or Microsoft, we would eventually it will come to our mind that yes, we would like to work for these organizations because they are such renowned organizations. So they're just not renowned organization because of their yearly turnover, because of the huge amount of money they have made, but it is also because the working conditions that they have provided for their employees. Okay, so the working conditions at their organizations are so effective that employees are keen about working in such huge organizations because they have made a name for themselves. They have actually contributed in human resource practices so that employees stay motivated. They work together in a collective environment, and they in this collective environment they work together to work for the betterment of the organization. So BMW specialized staff, which are able to offer superior quality of products and services within the market in the customer experience. Well, we of course know that, and that is because of of the ideal human resource practices that are in place at BMW. In BMW, the goal of human resources is to change and improve their markets by using new methods of production and materials and organize them into excellent way of serving customers. So everyone in the organization come together so that they can give the best um, uh, output, the best kind of services to their customers. As always in BMW, the goal of human resource management is to add more value and improve the ratio of cost in the added value of its car products. The main goal of human resource in BMW is to make people more productive in a creative setting for the long term standing with them. And when the management staff will be more productive, then the jobs get more skilled. In recession, also, this company had constantly invested in the human resources and its development. So we will look into some how BMW goes about within their recruitment and selection process of their potential candidates. Of course, they do not just require engineers or salespeople. They also require people for their human resource department. They require people for their operations or administrative department. So the selection of the candidates is the first task and strategy for the BMW company. So of course, this is the first and foremost important task for any human resource managers and for any organization. So they select candidate who can match up the requirements of the job role, which is specified in the advertisement. The first process is to analyze the role and then they develop this person's specification. Okay, so human resource managers of BMW, they also pursue a person's specification method where they put together the type of people, what they're looking for in the candidate, what kind of attributes they're looking for in a candidate. In screening of application, they shortlist the selected candidate, whether to select or reject. After this, they conduct interviews, assessments, tests the candidate for the selection process. Of course, like any other interview processes, when a candidate successfully pass, then they move on to the next part of the recruitment and selection process. So suitable candidates then have the opportunity to experience the role that they have been offered some kind of preliminary training, okay, or maybe they have to go through other tests, some kind of aptitude tests or something or personality tests. So this way, the human resource managers know that they have the right candidate for their organization. Attracting customers is the vital part of the BMW's human resource management process that plays an important role, and it does not include selling the products, but also includes advertising the brand. It's not about only selling the product, but also how they need candidates who will be able to sell the brand image, the brand name to their customers effectively. So after the interview process, they do a screening step, okay, in the recruitment and selection process, where the candidate have to fill some application form, which shows their subjective quality of the person based on their thoughts and abilities. Some aptitude tests. This kind of helps the organization or human resource management to understand how they will be able to cope up in like any sort of adverse situation, anything like that. Even that process is continued in the interview process. Okay, the interview is conducted by the line managers of the BMW. The interview includes discussions, questions about previous experiences. The questions in this interview are definitely properly listed, specified according to the job role and responsibilities. So the BMW Human Resource Management, they also go through a testing phase where it tests the ability and personality of the candidates. So again, here there's sometimes they have to give candidates have to give aptitude tests like knowledge, vocabulary, typing speed. It depends on the role that they're going to perform. In this, the human resource managers of BMW, they also test the individual's beliefs, capabilities, how they deal with different problems, etc. Lastly, in this recruitment and selection process, if successful candidates pass all the screening testing phase, then managers will look into doing like a background check. Previously in learning outcome 3, we've talked about DBS checking, okay, so disclosure and barring services, where they kind of check on any kind of convictions or if any of for that uh, for that candidate. So after this recruitment and selection process, of course, BMW will just does not throw the candidate into the lion's den, and they have to start with the work and they have no clue what they have to do. So BMW definitely does not do that. What they do is they go through a proper training and development process with the candidate before they actually commence their job at the organization. So once candidate pass the above steps of recruitment and selection, they undergo training for the job role. This training process is essential to improve the performance of the job, which helps to develop their personal and professional characteristics of the candidate. The training involves coaching, development of professional skills. There could be some manufacturing or uh, training that might go on if that person, if the candidate is directly involved with the manufacturing process. There are on the job training and off the job training as well, product and skill training, behavioral development, technical training, customer service training, training on machines and equipment, and definitely also health and safety training, because BMW works with machineries, with a lot of equipment. So there needs to be proper training of health and safety issues within the organization. So, including all of this, the BMW Human Resource Management also goes through a proper performance management task. So, in BMW, the performance of the managers and staff is initially important to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Performance management is the essential and organized process that carries the success and helps in developing the capabilities and performance of the individual or team that they're working on. So, of course, it is a continual process. Human resource managers need to observe how much work and what kind of work, if the work is done effectively by the individuals for the organization. Okay, so if there is any gap, if there are any drawbacks in the work that the candidates are producing, then that means that the candidate would require more training, and BMW should be human resource managers should be responsible to provide more training to the candidate. The strategy of human resource manager is to develop the managers or leaders in the organizations who can help their employees or subordinates to make their performance effective and efficient. So the managers or leaders within the organization will try to mentor or coach potential candidates who would require some further training. Performance management also helps to analyze if everyone within the organization is working towards the common goal and eventually meeting the targets and generate the desired revenue. So, how do BMW keep up with employee relation? So there are certain factors that BMW has adopted to improve its relationship with its employees. So what they do is, of course, there is a downward communication because it is such a huge organization. So there needs to be some sort of hierarchical base top chain of command so that information is passed smoothly throughout the organization. So the first factor that maintains the employee relation is the downward communication from managers to its subordinates. Managers educate and train staff so that they can execute the tasks and responsibilities properly. Awkward problem solving and finding solution is also there, where the employees have the opportunity to take part, give opinion, give feedback, and also communicate with their managers or leaders, that if there is any kind of loopholes, of if there are anything that they need to discuss upon, solve problems together, create new ideas, and give opinions to solutions instantly. So it is just not only a downward communication, it's a two-way communication actually between the employees and the managers and leaders at BMW. There is also another strategy that BMW holds, which is on task participation, where managers and employees are expected to play an important role in the development and maintenance of the task in the job. They need to follow new techniques and strategies. They need to collaborate together, complete and come together to complete a task if required, by both the managers and the employees. So here's just a little case study task that you can do. Please, if you can go back to the slides that we have discussed before, if you can scroll back, try to analyze the case study more. Think about how BMW is managing their human resource practices, if they are doing a good job. You can do a comparison with other renowned organizations like Google, and if you can find some case studies on Google as well, and see what are some of their strategies, and how, if they match with human resource management strategies of BMW, or if you think that there are other effective strategies that BMW can use. How BMW recruit the employees? What are their recruitment, selection, testing, training strategies, etc. So now we will look into how management has an impact on technology. So nowadays, the advances of technology has definitely had a huge impact on every kind of work that is being done. It helps in improving the recruitment and selection process, use of online resources, digital platforms, social networking. So the role of HR has never been more crucial than today. Tools are developed and introduced that could help HR sustain strategic efforts. So technology has actually been, like I said, when it comes to advertisement, starting from the job advertisement process, everything is technology based now. We hardly see there are, but we hardly see job advertisements in the traditional manner, which is in newspapers, leaflets. It is not that it is not available, it is still available, but the more important mediums of job advertisement is through websites, online platforms, social media platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn. If you do not have Twitter or LinkedIn account, I would encourage you all to please open up a Twitter, LinkedIn account. It helps you to enrich your professional network, and also it helps you to kind of uh, find out what kind of jobs are available. You will see that LinkedIn and Twitter actually helps to develop your prospects for jobs. So technology definitely has a very big impact on today's world in the job market. HR technology became a fundamental prerequisite instead of being merely a buzzword nowadays. Today's business environment is intensely competitive and promotes only the survival of the fittest. And that's why organizations are using information technology for increasing the efficiency in human resource management. Also, when it comes to taking job interviews, everything can be done online based through technology nowadays. Even application process is very automative now, and the screening process has become very easy for human resource management through these advances of technology. So this is just a design. It can depend from one design to the other of how the process of human resource recruitment actually goes. So first, it starts with the job announcement, job vacancy advertisement. Then human resource managers have to screen potential applications that has applied for the job. Hiring, the office shortlisting the candidates which will be best suited for the job according to the CV, writing job related tests if required, doing some sort of interview. If the potential candidates have passed the interview, you can provide them with a conditional or unconditional offer letter. You can do some pre-employment process medical security checks, and then provide like a final job offer to the potential candidates. And then you have to fulfill all the onboarding, induction period with the candidates. So, like I said, here is another practice on developing the human resource management hiring process. So, you identify the need and develop position description. Okay, what job is available at your institution, at your organization, and what kind of work you are looking for. So, you develop the job design, job description. You go through the recruitment planning, you advertise the job, you assess and interview the candidates, then comes the selection and offering the employment process, and then the onboarding process. So these two are just some of the processes of human resource recruitment strategies, but it may depend from organizations to organizations. So there are some critical aspects within the human resource selection process. So within the applicant perspective, as a human resource manager, you need to understand that the applicants deserve a constructive feedback. If they are not hired for the job, or if they're hired for the job, or if there are things that they can work on. So applicants should, during this selection process, is entitled to have a constructive feedback. They're entitled to equal panel participation. They might even ask some relevant interview questions. The interview process needs to be organized properly. There should not be any kind of personal biases. The and the duration of the interview should not exceed more than 1 hour, or maximum maybe 2 hours. So, from the hiring member perspective, the selection process should include that the people who will be conducting the selection, the interviewing process, needs to have proper interview training, uh, have technological understanding, have prepared proper structured interviews, have met objective measures, that will be able to measure the interview process effectively, and will be able to provide applicants with adequate feedback. So imagine yourself, if you want to be a human resource manager, or if you even if you're going to be an entrepreneur for your organization, what kind of uh, uh, how are you going to interview your employees? So you need to prepare your questions. So before this needs to be done before you meet your candidates, not on the spot during the interview date. So you need to compile a list of required attributes that you're looking for, and surrounding that, you need to base your questions. You need to involve few other people at the panel of the recruitment or interview process. Please make sure that it becomes very intimidating. If there are like about 10 people sitting in the interview process, it becomes very difficult um, uh, for the it becomes quite intimidating for the interviewee. Assess the potential that you are looking for. Assess the candidates based on the not only based on the qualification, but what are the skills you're actually looking for your organization. And eventually, if you like the candidate, then you need to sell your company, you need to sell your job, that yes, you should come and work for us because of this reason. So some of the best practices within the selection processes include: consider the internal external candidates for the positions that is available. So it's not that you will only look for candidates outside of the workplace. If required, you can also look for candidates within the workplace. Use objectives evaluation criteria based on known outstanding performance for that job. So if you think that there are some internal candidates who are capable for the job that you're offering, then maybe you can go up to them and tell them that this kind of job is available. Ensure compensation in a competitive manner. Apply a consistent selection process for all candidates. Train your interviewers uh, for the employee selection process, so they know what kind of questions to ask, how to go about with the interview process effectively. Conduct a comprehensive reference, background check, security check for potential job candidates. Give your interviewers guidance to help them probe deeper into candidates' suitability. Um, you must include the key stakeholders, the employees, sometimes the suppliers or other members of the organizations during the selection process. Ensure that you have a proper orientation induction process that will help to employees to start their job, and know how each job supports your organization's key objectives, as the main goal is to make sure that the organization is functioning properly for the ultimate goal, to establish a good organization. So thank you for listening to me. This was the end of Unit 3 Human Resource Management lessons, and I will be back again with more content later. Thank you very much.